Hey, what is up heroes, and welcome to my top 10 best Pokemon fan games of 2024. There were so many incredible fan games this year, it was tough to pick. If any of the games mentioned in the video interest you, check my pinned comment in the comment section down below to find all the download links for the games. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Starting this list off, we have a very unique fan game, and that is Pokemon Reloaded. Forget your turn-based battles, this is all about real-time fast battles. Reloaded is a huge game with many different regions. I played through the starting region, the star region, and it was a lot of fun, but a bit frustrating at times, I have to admit. I do like the gameplay, but some fights felt absolutely brutal. Even with the type advantage and level advantage, it did lead to some intense matches though, with that feeling of like relief and satisfaction after winning. I think if you're after something a little bit different, with a huge story and a lot of exploring and a challenge, this is definitely something to consider checking out. Next up, we have A Star in the Desert. I love fan games where you play as a Pokemon, and this is a mystery dungeon-like fan game, so you can see where this is going. You start off with a good old personality quiz to decide your Pokemon, then you're thrown into the desert where you meet a cool Sobble with a cool hat. If you don't like mystery dungeon games, don't worry, the gameplay is the same as your traditional Pokemon game. It just has all the other elements of a mystery dungeon game, like go to an area for a mission, great music, story, but you just battle like a normal Pokemon game. In the game, you join the Hunters, taking on various jobs defeating outlaws. I won't spoil much to the story, but this is absolutely incredible. It is banging. I almost cried at the end, man. It's so emotional. It's so good. The game's only roughly about 4 hours if you're looking for something short and sweet. I really recommend this. It's a really fun game. Number 8, we have the Isle of Light, which is a region to explore in the Poké Engine web browser MMO. Firstly, this game is gorgeous. The areas of the island, the character designs, and the Fakemon, man, the Fakemon are banging. I don't think there was a Fakemon I disliked. Maybe there was a few bugs because I'm not the biggest lover of bugs, but the game was just beautiful. The story of the game, you've got to change a light bulb at the lighthouse, making your way through the island, and as you progress through the island, you'll discover some things about it, some intense characters, and a secret to the island. There's also some difficult fights at the end, so if you want a challenge, that is definitely something to strive for. Also, if you're looking for a chill time, this is a game that's felt like a very cozy game to play through. This was my first Pokemon MMO experience, and it was really cool to just see what Poké Engine has to offer. And I really recommend to check out the site, not just for this game, but all the other regions you can explore. It's like really cool seeing other players on and about on their adventure. You don't have to worry about them interrupting yours, it doesn't impact it at all. It's really worth a shot checking out Poké Engine and just like all it has to offer, because it is a lot of fun. Next up, we have Dimension Defender, a Pokemon story. This is an awesome fan game that has a little like semi-open worldness to it, where you can do a few quests in like any order you want. The game has a few different stories. I think my favorite quest right now, without spoiling too much, is you'll find a Fakemon in a dimension, and it joins you and it speaks to you. It's pretty awesome. As the name suggests, you get to go to different dimensions and discover a lot of amazing new areas and Fakemon. And I guess you would call them Fakemon, but is anyone Fire Emblem fans? Because if you are, I'm sure there's a section of the game that you will absolutely love. It feels like the main theme of like games I've been playing recently have just been going to different worlds, dimensions, and honestly, I love it. If we get more games like this, I will not be complaining at all. I also got to say as well, all the Fakemon in this game were really well designed, and like there's so many different regionals. And like I said, I don't know if you'd call them Fakemon, but there's certain things you can get in this game. I was honestly struggling to make a team. There's so many different times that I just kept changing things around. And that's what you want in like a good Fakemon game. Just like a lot of different cool designs where you just can't decide what you want to use. But Dimension Defender is like really shaping up nicely, and I cannot wait for more to be complete. Because it's currently in beta. It's still a banger of a game though, but I think you'll probably get about like 10-12 hours out of it if you're looking for something to like just play through. Number 6, we have Pokemon Bazaar, and honestly, I feel this game's a little underrated. I don't feel like it gets talked about enough. It's completed, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, some bits are quite a bit silly, and as the name suggests, bizarre. But overall, it's really fun, with some awesome regionals. And I think some of the best side quests I've done in a while that were just really fun to play through. The region is beautiful, with so many different cool areas to explore, and at one point you get to go to space. You'd think from the name and some screenshots the game is just going to be a mess, but it has a really cool story to it, and it does take itself seriously when it needs to, but when it doesn't need to take itself seriously, it does get mad crazy. The characters in the game are just really fun, and there's always a smile on my face when I run into them. My favorite probably being the professor. So right from the get-go, he's just a bunch of fun, man. The game will take you about like 25 to 30 hours to complete. It is a completed game, but I honestly think the best way to describe this game is fun. It's a fun story, fun region, fun characters, fun music, fun references. It's just an all-round fun time, and I really recommend if you're looking for a fun time, check this game out. Number 5, we have Pokemon Reminiscence. I'm not the biggest roguelike lover, but this game was so compelling, I had to finish it, and I'm glad I did. Firstly, I want to say this game is gorgeous. Like, seriously, this is up there graphically with like one of the best looking fan games I think I've played. I love the art. Next to the story, so right from the start, it gets you hooked. Basically, some legendary Pokemon can change into human form, and Lugia, being like one of the main characters of the story, is a little stuck, so your character, like a grumpy middle-aged man, begrudgingly helps Lugia, and on that journey, you'll meet many interesting characters and solve the problems that have been troubling the land. Since I played many months ago, the translation has gotten a lot better, and I know the difficulty has been decreased, so it'll be a much more enjoyable time, because when I played it, man, some of the fights were brutal. I don't know how I finished it, but you won't run into those problems, most likely. But depending on how your run goes, this could last you about, like 8 to 12 hours, I reckon. So if you like roguelike games, give this a go. And even if you don't, I still think it's worth checking out. Because like I said, I'm not the biggest lover of roguelike games, but everything about this game was just so fun. Like the gameplay going through the dungeons, the characters, the story, like I said, the graphics are beautiful. Like the art, mwah, so good. Coming in at number 4, we have Pokemon Reunion DX. This game was so fun to play through. It was just madness. Basically, ultra wormholes have been appearing all around the Kanto region, so it's up to Red just to go around and fix these problems. Going into these wormholes that takes you to new or old worlds, and you solve the problems there, seeing many cool characters or Fakemon. I won't spoil, but the later half of the game has you experience some very special worlds, and that is a lot of fun. There's a little something in this game for everyone. Some worlds I recognize a lot of stuff, and others I had no idea what was going on. I do really like the characters' portraits in this game. The art style is gorgeous, and I also really like a lot of the characters in the game. I can't remember if they're like original or not, but their stories were really awesome. I believe currently there's 2 acts of this game, which runs about like 20 hours or so. If you're looking for a mad fun time, this game is well worth a shot with a very interesting story, and oh man, the villains of this game, oh, they just feel proper villains. You know when you see a villain, you're just like, oh man, I don't think we can win this, and they just feel scary. Not just like, oh, you're just a bad guy, I'm gonna kick your butt. No, they feel proper scary. At number 3, we have Pokemon Vanguard, and let me tell you, I've never had so much trouble picking a starter before. This game, right off the bat, has amazing custom regionals. You'll spend a good like 20 minutes or so just looking at the starters thinking, damn, they're all so good. So Vanguard starts with your character like waking up with like no memories apart from name. You meet a girl called Destiny, great character by the way. And sometime after, that, you both enroll in the Vanguard Academy, which is a Pokemon trainer school to mold you into a professional to defend the region from the renegades. While at school, you meet some amazing, well-written characters, and you'll just love them, and others, I mean, you'll grow to love them. There's like a lot to love about this game, from like the amazing amount of regionals and Fakemon. You'll be switching your team up often, like after like every couple of hours, you're like, okay, I need to switch my team up again. There's just so many good things to discover. The region also has a lot to offer, so many different variety of areas to check out. You never get like bored in the same area. Even if you are in an area for an extended period of time, it's still really fun to like explore and just check out. The amount of interesting characters in this game though, like from your classmates, the teachers, the villains, the mystery around your cell, is like an anime story. Like at the end of 3.0 was just, insane, man. The tension you could cut with a knife. There's so much of doing this right now, and I believe like 3.5 is right around the corner, with a more stable like 4.0 coming out next year. But if you want to jump into this game right now, I highly recommend it. There's so much to offer, so many side quests, so much to explore. Like some areas you'll see, oh, I can't do anything right now. A couple hours later, you'll come back to that area, you can do a side quest, you can check out a new area. It's just so much to this game, and it's just so good. Vanguard is definitely something to just keep on your radar. It's just shaping up to be an amazing game. When it's complete, I think it's going to be up there one of the greatest. It's just so fun right now. Coming in at number 2, we have the Slowpoke Shack. Now, let me tell you, I was shocked about this game. I went in not knowing much, like apart from, I'm going to be running a little restaurant. I thought the story was going to be like, oh, just get some customers, oh, we made a living, yay, good time. But I thought it'd be like a nice little cozy game, and in reality that was like 5% of the game. The game has an amazing story with so many ups and downs. You think you know where the story's gonna go, and then bam, no you do not. The game is incredibly well written, very fun to play for, and I honestly can't stop thinking about this game since I completed it. Like, I honestly urge you to try this game out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like, you think you know where it's going? No, you don't. I don't want to mention too much about it because I just think it'll be an amazing experience to experience the story for yourself. It took me just about over 6 hours to complete, and I loved every second of it. Just trust me, give this game a go, and I think you'll start off like the first hour thinking, oh yeah, this is a nice game, this is alright, and then the next hour you'll be like, hang on a second. The next hour you're like, what is going on? And as you keep going, you're like, what is going on? This game's insane, this game's so good, and you're finishing, you're like, yeah, this game's an absolute banger. So please, try this game out, trust me. So before we get to number 1, I want to do some honorable mentions and shout out a couple of games as they were amazing, and I could have just slotted any of these games into this list anywhere, and I felt like they were so good. So check out these. So, number 1, if you watched the playthrough, you probably saw this coming. Unbreakable Ties is one of the best fan games I played, and it's not even complete yet. So the story starts off with you and your 2 friends, Derek and Ada, just starting your Pokemon journey in a world where a royal family controls the region. As you adventure on, you discover many things about this family and the ties that Latias and Latios have. The characters in this game are just so well written. I don't want to say too much, but all the characters are so cool. From Rodolfo and the gym leaders, you might see Rodolfo first and go, really? But just trust me, just play the game. Even the villains in this game, even though I hated a lot of them, I really liked how they were written. Just like, you know a character's good when they're supposed to be hated and you hate them. And oh man, I just loved this game so much. The final act of the current build was just something straight out of an anime. It was so insane. From the fights to the story, the music, everything happening was just incredible. And since I last played this game, there's been a few small updates, so the game's probably got even better. It's one of those games I just think I can't do justice by saying, yeah, it's amazing, one of the best games I played, you should check it. I just think it's something you gotta play for yourself, and as you play through, you'll understand. It is so good. The only bad thing I will say about this game, and it's a warning to you if you play, turn your volume down when you enter the orphanage. You've been warned. When I play these games, I have audio quite high, because I like the music, I like to listen to it, and big mistake in the orphanage, okay? Turn that down. Turn it down. But anyway, just trust me, play this game. It is honestly peak. It is so good. Unbreakable Ties is my favorite fan game of 2024. So there we have it, my top 10 best fan games of 2024. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite game of 2024 was. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next year for my top 10 best fan games of 2025. Peace!